Did you know that putting more effort into your 9-to-5 job could be the reason that you're struggling from paycheck to paycheck? Or maybe you didn't know that some men have made more money in the last couple years than most people make an entire lifetime just towards the retirement. And they did this by taking advantage of the great wealth divide that accelerated in 2020, a shift which is almost complete. And by the end of this video, I'm going to go over exactly what happened in the last few years that revolutionized a new era of millionaires. And then I'll go into how you can also jump into this new wave while you're still young before time runs out by replacing these 3 traditional false beliefs that you might have that is stopping you from becoming financially free. March 2020, a year that none of us will ever forget. Life as we knew it came to a screeching halt. The pandemic swept across the globe, but the world didn't just get sick, it shut down. Businesses closed, millions of working people were suddenly without jobs. It was a time of fear and uncertainty, but in the face of all of it, something extraordinary happened. People found themselves in a tough spot. Lockdowns seemed necessary to the majority, but they brought chaos to our economy. For younger generations, the millennials and the Gen Z, it felt especially devastating. Many of them worked in industries that were hit hardest by the pandemic. That included retail, hospitality, and service jobs. The traditional pathways of making a living had crumbled almost overnight, and it felt so hopeless. But then, a light bulb went off. With no office to go to, no customers to serve, no gigs to attend, a question emerged. What if we don't need traditional jobs at all? So they turned to the only place still open for business, the internet. Young people started creating, innovating, hustling. They took the skills they had, or they learned new ones, and they went online. Some turned to YouTube, sharing their stories, passions, and skills. Others started Shopify and Etsy stores selling anything from candles to shirts. Affiliate marketing and sponsorships became lifelines. People began promoting products they believed in and earning commissions. It wasn't just survival, it was innovation at its best. So, what was the result? A new wave of entrepreneurs and creators who found ways to thrive in chaos. So let's talk about some of these real stories. So take Sara, for example. She, like her peers, began to go to college. But in March of 2020, instead of panicking, she utilized her time by learning social media and marketing and began posting videos on YouTube about investing. As you can tell, her videos in the beginning were very short of perfect, but as she continued to work at it along with other online opportunities, she eventually started making money. Lots of money, like millions of money. Today, she's her own boss at 22, and she's planning on retiring at 25 years old. Or let's look at Joshua Mayo. He had just barely quit his job, and then he tried selling t-shirts online with very little success. And during 2020, when there were very few job opportunities, he decided to start up a YouTube channel in February of 2021 about investing. Wait, I'm seeing a pattern. He posted every week for 9 months until he finally made his first couple cents. The following year, he made over $600,000 from YouTube, and in the years following, he made many more millions. Now, as you can imagine, he's no longer making shirts, trading time for money. He's making what I call evergreen millions of money through ad revenue, affiliate marketing, and sponsorships. And as long as people continue to watch his videos, whether they're old or new, he's making lots more money. And since he has over 800,000 subscribers, I'm guessing this is just going to continue to grow. So to put this in perspective, he makes more money in a single year than 97% of retirees have saved up their entire life for retirement. And he's only in his 30s. And then there's Andrei Jikh, who saved up $14,000 and then invested it in a YouTube studio, and then within a period of 2 years, he'd already earned $1 million. He taught himself how to professionally video edit and film. His magic personality and financial advice went viral. And now he's earning more in a single year than 99.9% of retirees who saved up for retirement after a lifetime of working. So the pandemic forced a lot of people to think outside the box. It wasn't easy, but it showed us the tools to rebuild are often already in our hands. Now there's thousands of other examples on YouTube that you can look up, but I'll let you do that on your own. Now this next half of the video will be the 3 biggest mindsets that you need to change in 2025 to become like them. But before I explain anything, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button below so that you can get ahead financially in 2025. Now, the first mindset that you need to change right now is that you need to stop relying on the financial advice of Dave Ramsey and your parents and perhaps your grandparents. Yes, I know, I see the pitchforks, guys. I know you're gonna kill me for saying that, but let me explain. I made another video that stirred up a lot of controversy not too long ago, and it was about Dave Ramsey and his 7 steps, and how in his early years, he made a lot of risky investments and it resulted in a big bankruptcy. And then, to pick himself back up, he created a business and he began teaching people how not to go bankrupt, and that's how he made his money. So does he himself follow his 7 steps? I mean, yes he does, but he doesn't solely rely on them. He actually made his money by being an entrepreneur and building his own business up, and that's the point that I'm driving at. If you want to be like David, you want to do the things that David did, not just follow his 7 steps and rely heavily on them. So is David relying on his 401k for his retirement? Heck no, that guy is loaded full of money, and he has been for decades. So yes, if you want to have enough for retirement for the last 10 to 15 years of your life, then yes, rely on David Ramsey's 7 steps alone. But if you want to be like these young bucks and actually become financially free before you get really old, well then you're going to have to take some risk and take some money and invest it into a business or into a side hustle that's scalable into something that will not require you to trade time for money. And yes, that is going to require you to look outside your 9-to-5 job. But that's not the only mindset that you need to change. Every day, millions of people wake up and go to work and trade hours of their life for a paycheck. It's the way that most of us were taught to live. But here's the truth. If you're only trading time for money, then there's always a ceiling that you're going to hit. So let's break this down. When you work a salary or hourly job, you're locked into a simple equation. More hours equals more money. So what's the problem? There's only 24 hours in a day. So even if you work non-stop, your income will always be limited by time. And what happens if you can't work? Whether it's illness, burnout, or life circumstances, your income stops the moment you stop trading your hours for dollars. So here's something to think about. Have you ever wondered why the wealthy don't live this way? The wealthy understand a fundamental truth. Money is a tool to buy back your time. Instead of trading hours for money, they focus on building systems, assets, and investments that generate income without constant effort. This is what's known as leveraging your time, and it is the key to unlocking financial freedom. So, how do you stop trading time for money? Passive income. It's the money you earn without actively working for it in a single hour. It comes from assets like investments, online businesses, and royalties. For example, investing in stocks that pay dividends is a simple way how to create passive income. Another way? Creating digital products, like an online course or ebook that you can sell over and over. So scalable work means putting in effort once and reaping rewards many times over. So think about starting an online store or a YouTube channel or a podcast. These platforms will let you reach millions of people without having to increase your workload exponentially. Automation and delegation are your best friends when breaking free from trading time for money. So you want to use tools to automate repetitive tasks, and you want to hire people and services to take care of different parts of your business. The less time that you spend on busy work means the more time you have to spend on growth. So breaking free of that whole time to money trap requires one thing: changing the way that you think about work and income. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Start asking, how can I create systems that work for me? Remember that the ultimate goal is not just to make money, it's to build freedom. The freedom to spend your time where you want to. Now, in my opinion, this next mindset is the most important that you need to change. So pay attention. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, start a side hustle and make money quickly. That sounds great, right? But the hard truth is, most successful side hustles don't make money right away. In fact, many side hustles take months or years to even make a dime. But the truth is that's normal. Sure, I mean, some people get lucky, but for the most of us, building a side hustle is like planting a tree. You don't really reap the fruits the day that you planted the seed. You need time to water it and nurture it and let it grow. Think about it, whether you're starting up a YouTube channel, an Etsy shop, or a blog, there's a lot of groundwork involved, like learning new skills, building an audience, and refining what you're going into, whether it's your product or your service. So here's the reality. Most successful side hustles have a waiting period before you ever see any income. So for example, many bloggers don't see any income for a couple of years. And for YouTubers, even if they're very successful, they spend many months creating content before they see any ad revenue. And e-commerce store owners often invest in marketing and product development before they make a profit. But here's the thing, that waiting period is not a waste of time. It is an investment in your future business and success. So think of patience not just as a virtue, but as a superpower when it comes to making a side hustle. While you're waiting for income, you're building something far more valuable: experience, resilience, and the foundation for long-term success. And then once you have it, it'll never go away. You'll have it forever. See, the people who succeed are not the ones that give up after a few months. The successful ones are the ones that stick to it no matter what happens. Even if it gets really hard, they adjust their strategy and then keep pressing forward, even when it feels like nothing's happening. These ones are the ones that discover a why bigger than any doubts that they come across. And believe me, they come across a lot of doubts on their journey to success. And believe me when I say there's mountains of doubters when you step outside the standard 9-to-5 job. So how do you stay patient and true to your why? The trick is to surround yourself with people who are very successful and supportive of you and your goals. If you're constantly around people who doubt or tell you that your side hustle won't work, it's easy to lose motivation. But when you surround yourself with successful, supportive individuals, their mindset will inspire you to keep going. So find a community with like-minded people, whether it's a local entrepreneur group or an online forum, or even a friend that's on a similar journey. Their support can make all the difference. So instead of focusing on immediate income, focus on building value. Ask yourself, how can I serve my audience? How can I improve my skills? The income will follow when you consistently deliver value. Remember, the most successful businesses didn't start as overnight sensations. They grew slowly, steadily, and intentionally. Now, these 3 things that I just discussed will get you well on your way to financial freedom. But time is critical because the middle class is vanishing very quickly. And if you want to know how or why, you should watch this next video, which talks about how much money the top 0.1% is making more than the bottom 50% of us. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.
Sure.